In this fourth chapter of the Unit 12, the Roman Hispania, we will learn about the territorial organization. The chapter includes the first part, which is cities and provinces. This means the way they organized the territory. Second, we will talk about the economy activities that the Romans developed in the peninsula. And third, we will see the organization of the society in the Iberian Peninsula during the Roman times. Having said this, the first chapter, or the first part of this chapter, is the administration and urban development, or what is written in the book, provinces and cities. Romans divided the peninsula into a number of provinces, and they gave the name for the peninsula as Hispania, and more or less this is the name that had stayed finally to the country where we live today, España, from Hispania. As I have told you, they divided the territory into provinces to govern them better, and in every province they had a governor ruling that territory. As we saw in the previous unit, the ancient Rome, the cities in the Roman Empire developed in a great extent. It took place in the Iberian Peninsula too. It took place because the cities became the main centers of large regions. For instance, in the Tarraconensis, that covers a very big territory, the city of Tarraco, who is here in the coast, became the center of the whole region. I mean Tarraco in this province, but also Emerita Augusta, the present-day city of Mérida y Lusitania, or in Cartaginensis province, the city of Cartagena, or how it was called in the past, Cartago Nova. Romans founded many cities. The cities they founded, they were called colonies, colonias, and they were devoted, initially, they were intended for the all Roman soldiers who retired after having served to the Roman army, and they established and they had settlements in the Hispanian cities. The Romans founded many cities in the peninsula. They called them colonias, and they were initially for giving settlement for the Roman soldiers after their retirement. Once they were all enough, they were given lands in the peninsula. This map about the Roman Empire trading routes will help us to talk about the Hispanian economic activities. There, the Romans developed economic activities not only in the typical ones, agriculture and craftwork, they did also mining, minería, and they developed, as this map shows very much in an international scale, they had a remarkable trading. The economy of all periods and civilizations until the 18th century, hasta el siglo XVIII, you will see that the main activity in all of them will be, without exception, the agriculture. The Romans in the peninsula developed important agriculture because it was the basis, and it was based on the cultivation of wheat, harina, in vines and olives. The way that they shared the properties were in two ways. They had small properties, they were worked by their owners, and they had two, the second, the large properties. They were worked by slaves. And not all the agricultural activity throughout every period and civilization in history all around the world has been exactly the same. It depended very much on the technique. I say the techniques because Romans introduced techniques that were not known in the peninsula until they came to the peninsula to here. They introduced some systems such as the plow, el arado, the irrigation, el riego, and they also did something in order to keep the land fertile. That was to leave half of the land fallow, dejar la mitad sin cultivar, lo que se llama en barbecho, which is in English left the land fallow. The second economic activity that Romans developed in the peninsula was mining, and it played a key role, a fundamental role in the economy because, as Romans did with agriculture, they introduced very new techniques that allowed them to take out bigger quantities of minerals. They took minerals such as gold in the north, from Galicia, from Asturias, from León, mainly in the mine of Las Médulas. They took silver from the area of Sierra Morena, and they took mercury from the region of Ciudad Real, here in Almadén. The third economic activity that Romans had in the peninsula was handicraft or craft work. It was a urban activity because it took place in the bigger cities. They, Romans, manufactured products such as textiles. We have examples here in this area, in the region of Murcia. They had olives in the Guadalquivir Valley. They had iron working or metal working with iron in the center of the peninsula, and many other products that they worked with, and they used them to trade with other areas in the Mediterranean. And the fourth and last economic activity was obviously trading. The trading was based on the export of some products such as wheat, harina, oil, salted fish, pescado ya salado, and metals, some of the products that we have seen they produced and manufactured in the workshops in the peninsula. They bought from abroad some other products that there were not available in the peninsula, and mainly luxury products, productos de lujo. The commercial activity was encouraged, got better, una actividad mejorada, fue fomentada, thanks to the existence of a common currency, a common coin all around the empire. Tenían la misma moneda, eso mejoraba muchísimo el comercio. And it was encouraged very much because of the existence of the Roman roads, gracias a la existencia de carreteras romanas, de calzadas romanas. And finally, the third part of this chapter about the territorial organization during Roman times, the Roman society. The Roman society in the peninsula during the Roman times adopted the Roman model. As maybe you will remember, the Roman society was based in the division into two great or big groups, free people and non-free people, or citizens and non-citizens. Among the citizens, we have two groups, the minority of the patricians, the wealthiest people, and among the wealthiest people, we had the senators, senadores, high-ranking soldiers, high-ranking civil servants, soldados de alto nivel, generales, o funcionarios de alto nivel, high-ranking civil servants. The second part of the free people was the plebeians. They were the poorer majority. They live both in the countryside and in cities. Among the free men or non-citizens, we have the freed men or liberty. They were people who had been slaves before, but they were not slaves anymore. They were at the bottom of the social ladder, la parte más abajo de la escalera social, and at the very bottom of them were the slaves.